I'm glad that I didn't know about the YouTube 10-minute every
You
could watch the whole thing, the whole series of whatever.
If you were lucky.
Yeah. I just remember that I realized, like, up until I was a teenager, I'd just pretty much never watched a full series of anything because it was always scattered on TV, right? You would never get to watch it in the parts or in the order it was intended. And I kind of had this revelation when I was like, oh my God, this is so much better when I can watch it in order and all of it. This is amazing. And I kind of like went on this like insane watching spree where I didn't play any video games, even though I was addicted to video games. I would just spend all day watching like box series online because I was just like, oh my God, you can watch things in order.
Wow,
and for free.
That's kind of a cool. I mean, I'm glad that happened.
Because like my parents, the only DVDs they would ever buy was of the movies and stuff. So I only ever got to watch movies in completion. TV shows I often never got to see where they went ever.
All right.
No. Yeah, same here. Because when in the era of TV, like we couldn't. I couldn't really afford DVDs. Or anything
DVDs
like
were
that.
way too expensive.
Especially box sets.
TV
Holy
ones,
fuck, man.
TV ones were like £10 for like 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I mean, they're still fucking expensive to
Well, in
this
Japan,
day.
it's a joke.
Yeah.
Anime is absurdly
Yeah, so
expensive.
you watch what you got on TV, and that didn't necessarily mean if you missed the week, then you just had to like deal with the fact that you missed the week, And I think that's why, back when I was growing up, I think that's why Pokemon was so popular because it has a storyline, but you can jump in most episodes, and
That's why there's so much filler back then, because you probably missed 10 episodes. And
I fear that for me though, that ship has sailed. I feel I've tried to get into it because I know that you guys are you've talked about it a lot, and I know that a lot of the people who I interact with now who like Japan are interested in it.
fuck, Shin Angel
That
traumatized
got me. That
you,
was
man.
so bad. And,
One VHS, like I'm out for anime for
It all went
life, man.
off.
whatever happened to it, the copy?
I actually think that somewhere in Missouri, if you lift up a certain panel on the ceiling, you'll find the actual porn VHS that my friend spliced together from like Cinemax or whatever, and he distributed it out to all the buddies back when we were 13 or something, and that Shin Angel VHS.
Wait, one of your friends spliced a porn video and distributed it?
You don't know the struggle at all. I remember back in the day, so Cinemax or Skinemax is what we called it, or HBO. None of us had subscriptions to this because it was expensive. But if you did, he would make it look nice. It would, like the video would start and it would be like Orion Films, which had nothing to do with like the porn stuff, but he'd record that part from like a movie, and then it'd be like, oh, what are we getting today? This is gonna be exciting. And then that was the only porn you had for a year. That was it. Or I remember when I was a kid and I got a computer, I got like, this thing, and it had a printer, and I was like, oh man, I can get like a picture of like Carmen Electra naked or something. And I was like, print. And then it would be like, I'd be like, oh, in 3 hours, this shit's gonna be amazing. I was like, and then it would get like, it'd be like the sun, and you see like a blue sky, and then it'd keep going, and you're like, ooh, it's getting there. And then it'd be like Elmo from Sesame Street. You're like, what the fuck? That's not what I downloaded. And then it's like not what you got. Yeah. And now you've used like 22% of your ink from the, that was really expensive.
Your mom's gonna kill you.
Well, boys will be boys. But like, and then we had the whole era of Kazaa and LimeWire, which is...
That's how I found Shin Angel, actually.
Well, you could have just asked me for my copy. I've had one.
Shit, this shit.
I remember trying to like download like a episode of something, and I was like, "This is
Was it called Shin Angel? You were like,
"This is a Naruto."
It was always Shin Angel or Bible Black. That was the only two choices.
It was like specifically Shin Angel episode 2, and it was only episode 2 that was available on LimeWire. I have no idea why.
Was that the one with the girl who was jumping off the roof?
Yeah.
That's the one I watched. That was the one, yo.
That's why when you started describing it, I was like, "This is bringing back a core memory I've completely forgotten."
I was never old enough or intelligent enough to figure out how to use the computer at the period when LimeWire was around. My brother was.
Yeah.
And I remember my brother getting absolutely murdered by my parents because he downloaded so many viruses.
Oh yeah.
The PC to the point where it was basically unusable.
Yeah.
And I just remember my dad just screaming at my brother and me being like, "What's going on? Why is Hillary Clinton? Why is Bill Clinton talking?"
Yeah, it's Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Every time you'd search for something oddly specific. For example, big boobied woman threesome.
Yeah.
random one.
Yeah.
And then you'd wait like 2 days.
Yeah.
Because it has to be seeded
Yeah,
from
it's
other
seeded,
people.
yeah.
And then you'd hit play and it'd show Bill Clinton go, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That is
that's
legit the best troll
It is the
of
Rick
internet
roll.
history.
Before Rickroll.
Yeah.
Rickroll before Rickrolls.
Yeah.
Right.
So you'd be like,
Whoever was the first guy who came up with that, literally the best troll in internet history.
What a
What a
mess.
legend.
It was awful. And so and then I remember reformatting your PC was a regular thing. You'd have a friend who knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, I heard Windows 98 version 2 is way better than Windows XP. And we'd be like, let's fucking do that then. Let's get a cracked version of this and then we'll do that. And it was like, that's why when you say I didn't grow up with the internet era, I feel like that was the beginning of the internet.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I think what separates that in my mind, because when I was growing up, it was sort of like this, where it was like there was this moment when you were done with the computer and you logged off.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
out. Whereas now it's like you are always online.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, that's where like the notable switch is like when it was more accessible in your phone and every app was on there. And, now it suddenly became where you used to have to log on to MSN or log on to these chat rooms to try and chat. Now it's like, oh, you can reach me anytime.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's where I felt like the internet became what it is today.
Yeah.
And before that was kind of the Wild West, where it was like,
Yeah.
hey, if you were online, we chatted. If you weren't, whatever.
Yeah, like AOL Instant Messenger was
Right.
the big
Yeah.
one, and it even had like the door opening sound when you'd have a list of all the contacts, like you said,
Yeah.
and it'd be like
you would just message them.
well,
right?
they usually had an away message up, or it would be like they wouldn't be on the online list. So, but you hear that, and then you'd be like, oh, who was that just logged in?
Right.
Oh, cool. And then you'd talk to them for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. I did
But then
similar
they'd be
thing.
like, I gotta go, and be like, go boom, and you're like, well, okay, and you could customize the sounds, and yeah, man, that was some fun stuff. But I think that we're in a nice place now, where now there's a platform for everybody to do what anything and everything that they've ever wanted. So that's pretty cool.
Good or bad.
It's good or bad.
There's good points and there's bad points. Be connected all the time, you know. I mean, I feel like now there was a big separation between what you did online and what you did outside of the internet, and now that wall is just getting like thinner and thinner every year.
Dude, Serial Experiments Lane said that shit like 20 years ago, and they were right.
They were fucking right.
They were
man.
fucking
What can I
right.
say? What
Yeah.
can I say?
But I did bring one small thing, just so, and we're gonna put it at the very bottom of all this mess. It's not a Shin Angel toy, I swear.
Oh, god damn it!
I couldn't get it. This is my hat I'll wear in a second, I guess. But I feel like the real anime that never gets talked about is my guys from Ninja Turtles. So I'm going to leave that down near the bottom so that there's some American representation.
Thank you.
of the-
We have LeBron James over there.
LeBron James.
Another representation. Of,
Yeah, look, we have LeBron right there.
LeBron James.
all right, get that back to me. We'll put that near the bottom, near that banana.
Oh, look,
thing.
if he can
He can
kick.
kick. He can kick LeBron out of here. But yeah, that's a cool toy.
We also have Mike Wazowski.
I saw
Yeah, we
that,
do.
but I was like, that's Pixar. It's not anime, or it's not animation. Cartoons are different, like those. So there you go.
Put 'em there.
So I felt like you needed something because I don't understand any of what's happening here. And honestly, this is giving me severe.
Would you like to know? Would you like to know?
What does this invoke?
Besides the thing I watched with my mother, this looks like. This looks like some Naruto shit. I don't know that. She looks like the hidden ninja's like, welcome to the inn, and I'll serve you up a pork dinner tonight or whatever.
You poor naive child.
And then you've got the one in the middle with the spear.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like some hardcore,
That's a sword-
demon
that's a sword,
slayer
actually. Or
shit.
dusty.
That's a
Yeah.
sword. Oh, it's a katana.
Yes,
That's
it
like
is.
the Nodachi. It's like the
Yeah.
big one.
yeah, man.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you about Fate, Pete.
Oh,
Just,
that's Fate. That's where they have
this is
a
not Fate,
god.
right?
It's not Fate.
You'd be surprised that first one is also fake.
This is Fate.
Oh god.
Wait, this is Fate?
This is Fate.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that other one is also fake.
Yeah, you just picked up two Fate characters.
Wait. Fate, Grand Order of the Marshals or whatever. It's like I know this shit. It's like Fate.
You could have stopped at Grand Order.
Okay,
You were halfway there. But
like-
what's the full name again?
Fate Grand
Grand
Order
Order.
XR2. This time it's serious, but like I know because it's a regular person, and
Yeah.
then they'll have like Athena or some historical person
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Abraham Lincoln or some shit.
Yeah. And then they're like a cute anime girl, right?
Yeah, they would.
I didn't know that,
They would
'cause I
turn
know-
them like historical.
Yeah, like King Arthur is like a hot chick.
Oh wait,
You see that character over there?
This one.
That's King Arthur.
That's King Arthur.
Like
I thought that she's not the girl who knows King Arthur.
No, she is King
She
Arthur.
is King Arthur.
yeah.
Is this like?
Can I speak to your manager? Can I speak to the man of the house?
Is this like Genghis Khan or something? Or?
That's Goku.
Okay, that's Goku. All right.